LotCheck is Nintendo's subsidiary that checks over games made by first and third-party publishers to make sure that they're in compliance with Nintendo's guidelines. Occasionally, they are mentioned in the game's credits, but this is very rare. And the full name of this is Nintendo of America LotCheck, and he even has a source for it. It's from nintendofandom.com. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because on the list there are a couple that have been approved by them, which means they actually looked at these games for Nintendo and approved them. And others are kind of still up in question, but we'll go through each one and I'll tell you which ones are which. Now, the first leak I want to go through is nweedle. Now, nweedle over on Twitter had this to say about a new console hitting the Nintendo Switch. Virtual games are not lost in limbo. Some of the best games on the console are being adapted to be played comfortably in 2D, and it seems that they would also maintain the 3D version. It is not known if they will fully arrive as a compilation or for the Nintendo Switch Online service. So that is the first leak for the Nintendo Switch Online service. Again, like I said, potentially, and that goes for everything on this. This could just not happen. That's always a thing that could happen with these games and leaks and all that good stuff, but I think you guys already get that. Now, we do also have a new patent from nweedle that he found as well that has to do with the Nintendo Switch Online service, and this is what his tweet says. Soon we will be able to view the saved games with screenshots from the main menu of each virtual console. We can also directly start the game we want, order them, or delete them directly from the beginning. Then, as you can see below, there's a patent that explains all of it. So that's another tidbit of the Nintendo Switch Online service that recently has appeared. Now, let's go on to the next one, and this is that big list I was talking about. So over on Family Boards, Luigi Blood has a list of games that are specifically for the Nintendo Switch Online service. These range from SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, all the great stuff. And he mentions the LotCheck as well, so keep that in mind too. Let's go over the first part of this. So the first game that he is pretty certain were approved by LotCheck by Nintendo is WarioWare Twisted. Now that's for the Game Boy Advance. I've actually never played that. The next one is Sound Fantasy. The next one is Suit Hakun. I probably butchered that name. That's for the Nintendo. We also have Lunar Chase on here, Zero Racers, and Dr. Mario 64. That's also on there as well. Man, I haven't played a Dr. Mario game in a very long time. Now, there are a couple on there that you see right here on your screen, but there is another list right below that that's pretty interesting that has one that kinda has my eye. So Pokemon Picross is on there, which is pretty interesting. Now, this game specifically was sent to LotCheck, and he says he's uncertain of the status. Now, keep in mind that's for the Game Boy. And moving on to the big list I was talking about. The other ones were part of the big list, but there are some more games that we have to talk about that could be coming to the Nintendo Switch Online service. So the first one is Mario Bros. Classic. So that was only released in Europe according to this listing, and closer to the arcade version plus jump improvement. A Japanese version exists as well, but that was also never released. There's also another game that kind of catch my eyes, Gargoyles Quest 2: The Demon Darkness. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever watched Gargoyles, but that show is fantastic. I didn't even know they actually released games on that, and I really want to play that now. Honestly, a Gargoyles game would be pretty cool. Let me know if you're a fan of Gargoyles, because I am a huge fan of that series. I've probably watched it way too many times. Now, that was also sent to LotCheck as well. Now, there is also Super Bomberman 3 for the SNES, which was also sent to LotCheck too. There's a whole bunch of other games on here as well, and if you guys want to check out the list, there will be a link in the description below, but a lot of these are pretty interesting, and some of them on there already came to the Nintendo Switch Online service, like Earthbound Beginnings. That already came to the Nintendo Switch Online service, I believe anyways. I'm pretty sure. Now, speaking of older games coming back, it seems that we could be getting Legacy of Kain back on these current consoles. This is what VGC had to say. Remaster of classic action-adventure games in the works. Legacy of Kain series are seemingly in the works. As spotted by the user on Reset Era, a statue of Legacy Kain's protagonist is on display at San Diego Comic-Con, featuring logo for Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered. So I would assume that it's gonna be coming to the Nintendo Switch, I don't see why not, and other consoles like the PS5 and Xbox Series X, and this pretty much confirms, well, I don't want to say pretty much confirms, because I don't don't think the company has come out and said anything on it, but you would assume why would they have that out there in San Diego Comic-Con and not bring it out, you know? So yeah, this is definitely probably gonna happen. It's probably gonna be revealed in some kind of event, or maybe it's just gonna be a trailer drop. There's a lot of things that come out at San Diego Comic-Con. I wonder, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, is there any other gaming news that's coming out or will come out? That should be interesting. I'm also wondering if that new Superman trailer is gonna come out of San Diego Comic-Con too, but that's not even a gaming topic. But yeah, I mean, one thing that you could definitely say about these remasters and remakes and all that stuff, it's definitely a way for companies to gauge interest in these IPs, and if this is one of those things where they say, hey, this sold really well, let's make another game, that would be really cool. I think a lot of people would be happy with that. Moving on to some potential, I would say potential Nintendo Switch 2 news. So the newest Monster Hunter looks really fantastic. I'm gonna get it on the PS5, but I think one thing that a lot of people are wondering about all of these new games, especially the ones that are more graphically demanding, not just graphics, just for performance too, and just being able to run the game, is are they gonna hit the Nintendo Switch 2? I think a lot of us assume that the Nintendo Switch 2 is gonna be more powerful. I mean, why would you buy it then if it's just gonna be the same power as the original Nintendo Switch, right? And one of those games that I'm sure some of you guys wonder is the new Monster Hunter. Well, we do have some possible information that could lead to a port of the new Monster Hunter for the Nintendo Switch 2. Obviously, it wouldn't be for the current Nintendo Switch unless they really severely downgrade it, but this is what Go Nintendo has to say. You have to love investor briefings. While you and I know a ton about the gaming world, some investors don't know all that much. They just want to see the company make the money, which leads to some pretty interesting questions during quarterly briefings. Capcom just hosted another one of their quarterly briefings, and that brought a wave of questions from investors. One investor noted that Monster Hunter Wilds is on the way, but wondered why the game wasn't landing on the Switch. To be fair, as far as the investor questions go, this one actually makes a decent amount of sense. While fans most likely know the reason why Monster Hunter Wilds isn't coming to the Switch, Capcom still will happily explain why. You can see their full statement on the matter below, and this is what they said. One concept that we incorporated into this title is aiming to portray the maximum of the world of Monster Hunter by utilizing the latest technology to its limits. To that end, the platforms capable of realizing that concept are currently the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC. Going forward, we will provide more details thoroughly regarding these concepts and themes when we release information on the game. We hope you look forward to it. So that basically says the Switch can't run it. I mean, that's essentially what they're saying. I think personally they could get it to run on the Switch, but it won't be as good looking as the PS5 and Xbox Series S. Now, that's where the Nintendo Switch 2 comes in, because of course we think it's going to be more powerful. So if it is more powerful, can they, I guess, fulfill their vision for Monster Hunter Wilds on the Nintendo Switch 2, depending on what's going to be in the Nintendo Switch 2? That's the question. Is it powerful enough to, I guess, appease them? I guess we'll see, but it'll be interesting to see if it does happen. I mean, the Nintendo Switch install base is pretty large. A lot of people are going to buy the Nintendo Switch 2. It would be pretty cool to have that on the Switch 2, especially if there's a portable mode. And moving on to the next topic, I saw a lot of people talking about this online. It is kind of an interesting topic. So the title of this article by Go Nintendo is Dragon Quest creator says a silent protagonist becomes less believable as graphics improve. Now this is going to be one of those things where you're on one side. You either agree or you don't. Or maybe there is a middle ground. I don't know. But for me, I'd have to disagree on that. Anyways, this is what Go Nintendo has to say. Yuji Horii is the main man responsible for the Dragon Quest series, a line of games that have been going strong since the NES days. The Dragon Quest franchise has a number of staples it's been following since day one, and that includes the use of a silent protagonist. In an interview with, I'm not even gonna try to say that, Horii says that as the game's graphics evolve and grow increasingly realistic, if you make a protagonist who just stands there, they will look like an idiot. Now this is a short comment by him, and it does look a little weird when protagonists are doing that, but I gotta disagree. I've never minded that. I've never actually even noticed that, to be honest. When I'm playing someone like Link, it doesn't really bother me. I've never really noticed it and never really gave it a thought. What about you guys? Have you ever noticed just Link standing there? Because honestly, usually he's not standing there. Usually he is doing something. I mean, usually he's talking to people and he's reacting to what they're talking to him about. So I've never had a problem with it. Now this does make me wonder if the next Dragon Quest game is going to have a non-silent protagonist. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. Would you like that? Would you not like that? Let me know your thoughts. And moving on to the last topic of today, we do have some pretty interesting thing for you Mega Man fans. So Capcom told investors that they are considering how they can make Mega Man games on a regular basis, according to Stealth40k over on Twitter. The quote he grabbed says, "Mega Man is one of our highly valued IPs, and we are considering how to create games for it on an ongoing basis." Now this is very short and sweet, and honestly, something I've just realized this. We don't get a lot of Mega Man games, do we? I'm really just noticing this. I don't know how I have not noticed this before. We don't get a lot of Mega Man games, which is kind of strange because Mega Man is a pretty big character, right? That is just really weird. I mean, it's a very popular character and a lot of people, why? I don't know, I'm getting sidetracked, but I don't know, I just found that kind of mind-blowing. I don't know why we haven't gotten a Mega Man game, but what do you guys think? Why do you think we haven't gotten a Mega Man game? I remember that one game. It was like a Kickstarter or something, and it was a huge controversy because it was just so bad. Mighty number 9 or Mighty number 8 or something like that. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? What do you think about Mega Man getting a lot more games? I wouldn't be surprised if they have one in development right now. And what kind of game? Wait, hold on a minute. If they're gonna be making more Mega Man games, does this mean we can finally get more Mega Man Battle Network games? That is a possibility. Oh my god, that would be really cool. That would be amazing, especially if it has like some kind of online play, just like the remasters, and they come out with new chips and stuff, or something, or maybe they make them free. Probably not. They'll probably make us pay for it, but that would be pretty cool. New Mega Man Battle Network games again. But anyways, what do you guys think in the comment section below? And that is the last topic for today. Make sure you guys tell me your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.